Hello everyone, it's Jamie and welcome back to my channel and welcome to what is going to be an impromptu weekend crafty vlog. So I realized that my kids don't have school Monday, so it is currently Friday, and so I have Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday to do something that I just randomly decided to do. So in October, if you are new, I decided that I was going to put some of my whips into a wheel and then spin a wheel to pick my projects, and I'm doing that daily-ish. What I decided to do for this weekend is that I am going to try and increase the amount of projects that I work on by putting a stitch goal on the projects, and then every time I reach that stitch count on a project I will spin the wheel again. So my plan is that every 250 stitches for a full cross project or every 500 stitches for a half cross project I will be spinning the wheel, and my goal for this weekend is just to try and work on a lot of projects. So I'm just going to try and do a lot of stitching, and then every 250 or 500 stitches I will get to spin the wheel again and pick a new project. I also, because I want to do more than just cross stitch, I have a little thing that I wrote out for the weekend for my weekend craft plans. I also want to finish the ribbing on a sock that I started, which the sock is over here. I've only done like 4 rounds of the ribbing so far, so I have to do another like 20, I think I did 25 rounds of ribbing on the first one, so I need to do another like 21 rows of ribbing, so I need to do that. And then I also would like to finish the waffle stitch section on a shawl that I'm working on, so whenever I work on the shawl I will be showing little clips of that, hopefully, fingers crossed. So the first project that I'm going to be working on, because it's Finish Friday, and so this is a project that I'm working on not using the wheel, is I will be working on Strawberry Farm by Flossie Fox Shop. So I need to do 250 stitches because this is a full cross project, and so I will be back when this is done. And then I won't get to spin the wheel yet because I did spin the wheel in my previous video and I got the board game stitch along. So I'm going to do this project, then I'll work on the board game stitch along and do 250 stitches on that because that is a full cross project. Or I also was thinking about doing 500 half crosses because in the area where there's the black border, I'm only doing half crosses in most of the area so that I can get the stitches done, the half cross, and then later I can go back without having to look at the chart and just finish filling in those stitches. So the first project I'll be working on though is Strawberry Farm, and hopefully I can get this 250 stitches done soon so that I can move on to a different project. This is being stitched on a 14 count DMC pre-printed Aida, 2/1 full cross, and I will be back with progress on this. I have just finished the 250 stitches on Strawberry Farm by Flossie Fox Shop, and I was able to get this dragon finished here. I did the clouds up here, and so this top section of the piece is now finished, which means the next time I work on it next week, I will be working more on the bottom lower half. And hold on. I have officially crossed over 2,000 stitches complete on this chart, so I'm at 2,152 stitches complete out of 3,563, and I am at 60%, so yay! This is getting closer to being finished. And now I will be working on the board game Stitch Along. This is from Taylor and Cromwell, and I think for this one what I will be doing is I'll just be doing more of the black border. And this is what I had mentioned, so some of the black border I have done the full crosses already, but recently when I've been working on it I'm just doing half the stitch to get it all like stitched out, and then later I can go back and do the top half of the stitch without having to look at the charts. Then I'll just be able to like take this with me and stitch on this easier without having to look at the chart. So I think I'm going to do 500 half stitches on this chart, and I will be back when that is finished. It is still Friday night, and I just finished my 500 stitches on the board game Stitch Along, and I managed to reach the bottom. So this here is the bottom tile. So this is the very bottom, yay! And I was just, like I said, just doing the half crosses. I will go back later and fill in the top half of the stitch, but that's not really my priority right now. I really just want to get the outline of all these done and have that mapped out so that when I do decide I want to start one of the actual game tiles, I can put it wherever I want to put it, because I haven't looked yet at like the colors of all the different tiles yet, but I do kind of want to look and figure out so I'm not putting like too many similar color tiles together. So that's something that I want to look at once I get to putting the actual tiles down. And now it is going to be time to spin the wheel. I am recording on my phone right now, which is what the wheel is on. So I have actually already spun the wheel and pulled the project out, but I did screen record my phone spinning the wheel. So I will insert the clip of the wheel spinning. And you will see that the wheel picked Fables, which Fables is by Medusa Dollmaker, charted by Gecko Rouge. And it's no longer available from Gecko Rouge, but you can still find it from Medusa Dollmaker's website. And I have the project pulled out. I don't have it in a hoop yet, so it's going to be kind of hard to show it. But here's my starting point on Fables. I don't have a ton done on this chart, which is part of why it's on the wheel. It is a project that I would like to finish. I have my projects separated into projects that I would like to finish and projects that I'm not in a hurry to finish because I am trying to get the number of my whips down. And this is on the projects I want to finish list, and it is the lowest percentage project on that list. So I would like to make some decent progress on it this month. And the way I've been stitching on this is I started from the middle of the top because this is not a full coverage chart. So like this outline here is the way that the outline is going to be. So there's not like straight edges on it. So I think I started from like the middle of the top row. And then recently I started working on it more, filling in the top row just because some of those light colors were really hard to go back and fill in if I was like doing cross country. It was really hard to fill in the light colors. So now I'm kind of trying to actually do stitching by like row and then parking in the row underneath. That's kind of what I'm doing, I guess, right now. And this is being stitched on, I think it's either a 25 or 28 count 2/1 half cross. So that is the cross stitch project I will be working on for 500 more stitches. And I also pulled out my knitting because I really do need to do a little bit on my sock. So like I said, this is only like 4 rows of ribbing and I need to do like 21 more, I think, for the cuff of my sock. So I will be back hopefully soon with another update on either cross stitching or knitting, hopefully both, and I will see you then. I am back and it is currently Saturday morning and I managed to finish the ribbing on my sock, which means I am now on to doing just the knit stitch for the leg. So that is exciting because that will usually go quicker than ribbing. And then I also did 500 stitches on Fables. I filled in this area up here on this 10 by 10 row because I have been trying to work in 10 by 10 rows kind of. So there's this top 10 by 10 row is completely finished. There's the second 10 by 10 row, which I just finished this ending portion yesterday. And then I went and was working over here. And then I'm going to try and start working, like I said, more in rows and go like that. So it's kind of hard right now because I have stitches parked on both sides of the owl's face, but I want to get all of these parked threads working and then just work rows and see how that goes. So I did 500 stitches on that, which means I get to spin the wheel. I already have spun the wheel off camera again, so I will insert the video clip of that. And it was another Gecko Rouge kit that was picked. So it was Little Gamer, which is another piece of artwork by Medusa Dollmaker. I love Medusa Dollmaker. And here is where Little Gamer is right now. It is another half cross project, which means I will be doing 500 stitches before I move on from this. And I think I'll work on Link again because that's where I was working on the last time that I was working on this project. And then I also might do just a little bit more of this blue background just to make some progress on that. And this is a chart where my goal for this month is I actually want to do almost 4,000 stitches on it. So it needs to be picked a lot so I can get my 4,000 stitches done on it. And that way at the end of the year, hopefully I will have completed 30,000 stitches on this project and get this closer to a finish. So I will be back when I have done my stitching on this for another wheel spin. I'm hoping that because it's Saturday, it's still morning, I'm hoping that I can get a couple projects worked on today. Hopefully like maybe 3 projects picked today. We will see. But I will be back when I am done with this one. I am back and it is still Saturday and I just finished working on Little Gamer and I did 500 stitches in Link's face and it's almost finished and he just looks so cute. So we're gonna zoom in, there's his face, look at him. And there's still some spots that I haven't filled in yet, but I was really happy with what I got done on him. And like I said, now his face is almost finished. So the next time that I work on Little Gamer, I will hopefully get Link's face finished and then maybe his body and then sword next. I did spin the wheel again to pick my second project for today, and I will insert the video from that, and you will see that it was Witcher, which I just recently worked on. Was it Thursday or Friday? I don't remember which day. Thursday, I think it was. So here is Witcher. This is the area where I will be working on. This is a chart from Thread Geeks. And I think this is the large version of the chart because they do make their charts in different sizes. But even being large, it's still a pretty small chart. I think it's under 100,000 stitches, like maybe 90,000. And I only have to do 500 stitches on this because it is a half cross project, because the majority of my full coverage projects are half cross. And I will be trying to work on this corner here. The last time I worked on this chart, which like I said, it was Thursday, I was trying to work over to the corner, and I think I'm almost at the corner, and then I will start filling in some of this section. I will be back once I have done my stitches and get to spin again and all that fun stuff. And like I said, I'm trying to hopefully work on like 3 projects today. So this is number 2. I'm hoping to squeeze in one more project, but we'll see what ends up happening. Here is the 500 stitches on Witcher, and I did make it over to this corner over here, and then I was just working with a few of the colors that are in this corner. The background of this chart is nice to stitch just because there are a lot of blocks of color. So like this was all one color. There's going to be a large section that's like this color here, and there's just large chunks of just colors. So it's going to be easy to stitch, but just kind of boring. And so I got that done, and then I spun the wheel again to pick my next project, which this will probably be my last project for the night, and I don't even think I'll show it tonight. I'll most likely come back and show it tomorrow in the morning. And the wheel picked Rainbow Basin. So here is where I'm at on Rainbow Basin right now. This is a chart by Tilton Crafts. The artist is Emperor Pep, and this is a WIPGO piece. And so for my WIPGO projects, I'm trying to do 1,000 stitches on them when they are picked for WIPGO. And so I will do 500 stitches on it now, and then I will eventually have to spin it again and then do another 500 stitches, and then it will be coming off the wheel after it has 1,000 stitches. So I will be going and working on this piece. And part of why I said that this will be like my last spin for the night is because I also would like to knit tonight. So I pulled out my sophomore wrap. This is my starting point. And this is by Alexandra Tavel, and it's hard to see it right now, so I'll go out a little bit more. There we go. So I am working on this waffle section right here, and I would like to finish this section by the end of this weekend. So I'm going to try working on this tonight, maybe watch a movie or something. I'm not sure yet, but I'm going to go and get to stitching, and then I will be back tomorrow with an update on what I get done. And here is Rainbow Basin after 500 stitches. It is now Sunday morning. I managed to get the stitching done last night on Saturday, but I did not want to make the video because it was late when I was finally finished doing that. So I got these stitches done, and because it's a WIPGO piece, I will need to work on it one more time this month to get to 1,000 stitches, but I was happy with that. And then I spun the wheel again to pick my next project, and I'll insert that video now. And I was really excited for this next project because it's something I've wanted to work on since the beginning of the month basically, and it is Santa's on His Way, which is charted by Charting Creations, and I will pull that piece up. So I'm gonna have to back out a little bit. So there we go. This is a piece where I've kind of worked everywhere on it. So I started in the center over here, worked my way up to the top, worked over to the corner, worked down to this bottom corner. And I think today I might work on this bottom corner more, filling in some of the trees, and try and do another 500 stitches. This is another half cross piece because a lot of my things are half cross. So I will be doing 500 stitches and then spinning the wheel again to pick another project. And hopefully today I can do another like 2 or 3 projects. That would be nice because I am just liking working on a lot of things right now. It's also helping me to see which things next year I might want to prioritize just based off of how much I enjoy stitching on them or how much I want them called. For example, Santa's on His Way is one, like I said, every day I have been wanting it to be picked to work on. So I know that next year I will probably make it more of a priority slightly because I do really want to work on it. And then if there's other pieces where they get spun and I'm feeling less enthusiastic about it, then I know that next year maybe I don't want to make it a big priority piece because I don't know if I would enjoy actually working on it that much. So it's fun to do just to see how I feel about pieces. Which pieces do I get more excited about? Which pieces am I less excited about? But I will be back later with my 500 stitches on Santa's on His Way. And here is my 500 stitches on Santa's on His Way. I was working on the trees here. There's actually going to be 3 trees here. So there's one here, there's one shorter one here, and then there's going to be another one here. I also did this black area, and I was like, what is this black area by the trees? And I looked at the image of the artwork, and it's actually going to be one of the reindeers. So I'm getting close to being able to stitch like a reindeer leg. So that's going to be fun whenever I get back to working on this, being able to do another reindeer, because there was part of a reindeer over here, a headless reindeer. That could almost be like a little Halloween thing, headless reindeer. So that guy needs a head, and there's another reindeer that goes here, and then that's his leg. So I finished my 500 stitches on this. I spun the wheel, which I will insert now, and I got my first repeat for the weekend. So I already worked on this chart. I just worked on it last night, and it was Rainbow Basin, which is Tilton Crafts. I have it here. So here is my starting point on Rainbow Basin. This is a Whipco piece, so I need to do another 500 stitches. After I finish the 500 stitches, I will be able to take this one off the wheel because it will be done for the month, which means that other whips will have a chance, because like I still have a Whipco piece I haven't worked on. I still haven't spun quite a few things, actually. I think I need to go back and look and see how many, but there's a few things I know that I haven't spun. I haven't spun the 12 Movie Nights of Christmas stitch along, the Kingdom to the Keyblade stitch along, the Haid stitch along. None of the stitch alongs are getting picked. So yeah, there's still things that I need to spin, and so I need to get stitching on this, and then hopefully my next spin after this, I'll get something that I haven't gotten yet. So I will be back with another update after I'm done. I just finished my 500 stitches on Rainbow Basin, which means that I have done 1,000 stitches on this piece this weekend, and it is done for Whipco, so that is exciting. I do love all the colors that are showing up, all the purples and the blues, and there's some like pinky colors. I really cannot wait though until this piece is actually at like the girl or the rainbow or just something that's not background, because this does have a lot of background. So there was that. And then I did spin the wheel again already off screen, and I got another repeat. So the piece that got spun this time is Little Gamer, which is something I worked on yesterday, I think. So here is Little Gamer right now. I will be working on Link again for another 500 stitches, and then also possibly some background. We will see how many stitches it takes to finish Link. So if I finish Link and there's more stitches to be done, I'll do them in the background. If it takes all 500 stitches to do Link, then that's what I will do, and so I'm excited to work on this. And this might be my last spin for the weekend, because it's still Sunday, and my kids technically have tomorrow off too, but I think tomorrow I will just be stitching on Autumn Harmony and just go back to kind of like my regular schedule of just one spin a day and going back to normal. I'll be back later once I have my 500 stitches in on Little Gamer. I also most likely tonight will be working on my knitting, because the new episode of From is on tonight because it's Sunday. So I will most likely watch From and do knitting, because I did work on the shell yesterday. I just haven't shown it yet because I'm not finished with the section that I'm trying to finish. So I will also be trying to do that too. So here is Little Gamer, and Link is completely and totally finished, and he is just adorable. I think it took like 350 stitches to get him finished inside, and then I realized that there was quite a bit of outline stitching that needed to be done around him, because there's like an outline that's like a dark brown, dark blues, dark colors, but then there's also an outline that is some lighter blues before you get to the blue that is the background. So I was just working more on the outline, and that is what I got done on Link. And then I also ended up parking a whole bunch of threads into, I think that's Mega Man, right? And so next time I work on this, I'll most likely work on Mega Man, but I am excited because I am now 1,000 stitches into this project for this month. And that is good because I'm trying to do like 4,000 stitches on this project this month. So I still need to do another 3,000 stitches on this eventually. And like I said, that's my last spin for the weekend. It is currently Monday. My kids do not have school, but I am going to go back to my regular schedule, which means I'll be working on Autumn Harmony, which is right here. And I will be doing a spin in my next video. So if you want to see my spins for this week, you can come back to my next video where I will be doing daily spins, working on Autumn Harmony, and then also just knitting, book, stuff like that. I was also going to show my wrap real quick because I did finish the section I was trying to finish. So The first waffle stitch section is finished. It's so hard to hold up though because it is getting big and it also like pulls. So there is where I was. I finished the section going down to here. I am using the yarn Lovely, and it is a Karen macchiato cake, and I love this color. It's so pretty, but like I said, it's hard to show it because this is like the straight edge of the shawl, and then you're knitting like the V. So yeah, it's really hard to show it right now, but now I'm in a section where I'm just doing knit and purl rows, just basic knit and purl, and then increasing on the knit rows. So it's pretty easy to do this section. I think I'm going to try and finish this section that I'm working on now this week, but I need to like figure out my goals for this week in terms of knitting. Like, how far do I want to get on my sock? How far do I want to get on my shawl? And then there's also another pair of socks that I would like to make eventually that I saw. They're like some witchy socks. So they are taller socks. I think they go above the knee. They are striped black and white. I'll insert a picture of the pattern here. They look amazing, and I would love to have those for Halloween this season. I don't know, but it's obviously kind of late to start them now, but I also want to start them now. So I might start another pair of socks if I can find some black and white yarn somewhere. They would also be fun to do in like other colors, like a black and purple or a black and orange, just other colors. So there are socks that I would like to start making. And then books, I was listening to the audio book A Kingdom This Cursed and Empty is I think the title. It is the second book in the Kingdom of Lies series, and I basically listened to that all weekend, so I got like, I think I'm like 8 or 9 hours into the book, so I only have a few hours left, and it's really good so far. I am obsessed with it. I did not watch any TV except for the TV show From. I watched that yesterday, and the season 3 of From is so good. The first 2 episodes were like super sad, and then the episode yesterday, the way it ended, I was like, you cannot end this episode the way that they did. But they did, and it's a show that comes out weekly, so you have to wait every week to see what's gonna happen next, and I am so impatient that I hate when I have to wait, so that was really good though. I was reading an actual book. I was still reading The Lost Bookshop, which I'm like halfway through, so I'm getting closer, and it's good. Things are happening where I'm kind of like, what? But yeah, it's good so far, so I have been reading books. In terms of purchases, which I'm only bringing up, I haven't talked about purchases in a while because I haven't been purchasing cross-stitch supplies really. I might make a purchase from Unconventional Cross Stitch because they did announce on their Facebook and Instagram that they had a house fire that burned down their house, it burned down their business, and so, you know, they're going through a lot. And so I was looking at some of their charts just to buy something, show some support. And I'm just not sure yet what I want to buy because there's so much that I want to buy. They have had a lot of new charts come out from a lot of different artists, and so my wish list there is huge. So I've been looking at charts from there, and I might purchase something from them today or tomorrow. So that is something that once I purchase, then I'll show them, of course. I most likely won't start anything. I'm not going to start anything. I don't even really feel right now, I haven't been feeling at all like wanting to start something, so it hasn't been a challenge doing this whole whipping down thing so far, just because I am enjoying just making progress on the things that I have. Like this weekend, working on a whole bunch of projects that I've already started was really fun. I was really enjoying that. I don't think I'll do it every weekend just because obviously I ended up spending a lot of time stitching. Speaking of, I was going to talk about the numbers. How many projects did I work on this weekend? I ended up working on a total of 7 different projects because some of the spins were repeats, and I ended up doing 4,421 stitches this weekend, so that was fun. I really enjoyed it. I was thinking I might do something similar for 24 hours of cross stitch because there is a 24 hours of cross stitch weekend in October, I think. I'm pretty sure it is October 18th, like that Friday is the start of it, I think. I could be wrong. And 24 hours of cross stitch, if you don't know, there is a group on Facebook. It was created by Jen Lee, who is Quirks and Stitches, I think, on Instagram. And there's 2 different versions. There is Team No Sleep, where they try and cross stitch for 24 hours straight, no sleeping, staying up all night. I don't do that. And then there is Team Sleep, where you are just trying to cross stitch for 24 hours throughout the entire weekend. So you have the full Friday, Saturday, Sunday, trying to get 24 hours of cross stitch in. And I have done that once before. It is a lot. So if I did participate, I don't know if I'd necessarily be trying to go for the 24 hours of cross stitch. I would just be trying to cross stitch a lot that weekend, you know, and just do something like maybe a fun little challenge where like I could do spinning the wheel again. I could do a weekend trying to finish Kita and Strawberry Farm so I can have 2 finishes, and then possibly if I did finish those 2 things in that weekend, then I could start Link because then I would have 2 finishes to equal a new start. I don't know, the possibilities are endless, but I'm just not sure yet if I have anything happening that weekend. I don't right now, but who knows? So that is all that I have for this video. I will be going so I can start stitching on Autumn Harmony. I also need to start my next video clip for the weekly video so that I can spin the wheel and pick a project for today. So I will see you all in my next video. Thank you for watching, liking, commenting, or subscribing. Bye!